My girlfriend's mother told her to check my drawers every week, so he doesn't turn out like his father. I found the text on my girlfriend Odalise's phone by accident. A message from her mother still open on the screen, sent at 7:14 that morning, while I was asleep 2 rooms away. Check his top drawer again today. Make sure nothing's changed since Sunday. You know why, so he doesn't turn out like his father. I stood there in my socks holding her phone like it might go off. When I looked up, Odalise was already in the doorway watching my face fall apart. That's not what it looks like, she said. What does it look like? I said. She didn't answer right away. What drawer? I said. Which one? She said the top one, my side of the dresser, where I kept old paperwork and a few photographs. I asked her how long. She looked at the floor. Since we moved in together, 8 months. I did the math out loud. That's over 30 times. She flinched like I'd hit her. I'm not mad at you for the drawer, I said, even though I was, a little. I'm mad because I thought this was my house too. She said her mother worried. That's all. That Ingrid had been saying some version of that sentence since the week she found out my last name, and Odalise had gone along with it because saying no to her mother had never once gone well in her life. Why didn't you tell me? I asked. Because you'd react exactly like this, she said. I stood in my own kitchen holding a mug of cold coffee, realizing I had no idea how long this had been going on, or what her mother actually thought she was going to find. I grabbed my keys and told her I needed air. I drove to my shop even though it was a Sunday and I had nothing booked, because the shop was the one place that had never once lied to me. My shop hand, Dallas, was there anyway, sanding drawer fronts for a job in Cedar Grove. He took one look at my face and set the sander down. You look like somebody ran over your dog, he said. I gave him the short version. Her mom's been having her search my dresser every week since we moved in. He stared at me like he was waiting for the joke. Search it for what? I told him about my dad. Told him what her mother's text said, so he doesn't turn out like his father. Dallas's jaw went tight. That's not protective, he said. That's something else. I met Odalise 2 years earlier when she hired me to fix a set of built-in shelves in her condo. She stood in the doorway that first afternoon, asking more questions about dovetail joints than anyone outside the trade had any business knowing, and by the time I packed up my tools, we'd traded numbers under the excuse of a follow-up estimate neither of us needed. She teaches 7th grade science at Millhaven Middle. I run my own cabinet shop, Vance Custom Woodworks. My father's name is Roderick. When I was 15, he was convicted of arson and insurance fraud for a fire that burned down the furniture warehouse he co-owned with a man named Halden Kessler. He served 7 years of a 9-year sentence before he came home in 2019 to a city that still crossed the street when it recognized him. I grew up carrying that name like a stone sewn into my jacket pocket, and I built my whole adult life to be the opposite of whatever people assumed the son of Roderick Vance would turn out to be. Oh, Dallas knew all of it within our first month of dating, because I told her myself before she could hear a worse version from someone else. She took my hand across a diner table and said it didn't change anything, which was the first time in years anyone outside my own family had said that and meant it. I met her mother, Ingrid, 3 weeks later. She showed up at my shop unannounced carrying a casserole dish, said she just wanted to see where I spent my days, and stood in the doorway for 20 minutes, asking questions in an order I didn't think much of at the time. My equipment first, my client list, then, almost as an afterthought, my father, how he was doing these days, whether we still talked. I told her the truth, that we were rebuilding something slow and careful. She nodded and said family was everything, wasn't it? And left the casserole on my workbench between a table saw and a stack of walnut boards. I thought she was just protective. I told myself a lot of things that turned out to be wrong. A few weeks later, Ingrid asked me, casual as anything, whether my father had ever mentioned a man named Halden. I had never once told her that name in my life. Full story is only on Spotify. Search GurkoStory and follow.